HTH is brought to you by Mag Removing for all your local, in-state, and interstate moving needs. Whether you need help with packing, junk removal, furniture assembly, object-related moving assistance, or even senior-specific moving needs, Mag Removing has your back. Mention this ad by Hattrick Hockey and they'll knock off 10% from your bill. They can't wait to take your call and set up your next move. Call Mag Removing at 519-991-6097. That's 519-991-6097. Get it done with Magri Moving. What's going on, all you beauts and beauties? Welcome to the Hattrick Hockey Podcast, brought to you by GL Heritage, the official beer of HTH. I am your host, Brett Hedges, on a special episode of Hattrick Hockey. As you can see, I am not with my regular crew, but I am with a VIP. This is Jeff Casey from the Play for a Cure Pro-Am Tournament. Jeff, thank you
Woohoo!
for being
Welcome.
here, sir.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Before we get started, make sure you support our sponsors because they support us. Make sure you get your 20% off your BioSteel order at biosteel.ca using the promo code CrispyHTH and get 10% off your order at Howie's Hockey Tape with the promo code HTH Podcast. And of course, follow us on all of our social media channels and of course our YouTube links as well. Jeff, good to see you, my friend.
Yes. Good to be seen. Thanks for taking the time to sit down with me here. I really appreciate you having me on.
Yes, no problem. So the big day is coming up. It's the sixth Play for a Cure.
Yep.
And in that time, you guys have raised over $2 million. If I had talked to the former version of you when you had just started this idea about how far along you've come and how much money you've raised, how proud do you think you would be?
Oh, I can tell you right now, when we first started talking about this idea, it was to do 5 events and try to raise $100,000 a year. So we wanted to raise $500,000. And that kind of got blown out of the water very first year when we raised $376,000. And I knew like right then that next year is going to be better. Like people are now understand the event in its entirety, all the details and the experience behind everything. And people will be even more excited.
Mhm.
And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened.
Yes. So, of course, for those who don't know, the Play for a Cure is an event that you started back in 2019, right?
Yes.
So
Yep.
yeah, you just missed the 1 year for COVID, but uh, talk to us about your journey. Obviously, everyone knows you, but they don't know specifically your story. This all started because you were a cancer patient a number of
Yeah.
years ago, and you were able to fight your certain cancer. So tell the fans your story a little bit and how
Oh, you're
the
gonna
idea for Play for a Cure started.
right to the
Right to the meat.
heartstrings here.
Yeah, it's a
I
great
was
story, Jeff. I've known you for a long time, and you're a great ambassador for the game, and everyone
yeah,
deserves to
thanks.
know your story.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's kind of the driving force behind it all. I was pretty young. My wife and I were pregnant and expecting our first child when I started to experience some symptoms in my throat. My wife was about 37 weeks pregnant at the time, and I got a little tickle in my throat. And I can remember going into the mirror finally and looking down my throat to see what was going on because I didn't have any other symptoms. And there was a massive lump in the back of my throat, and it didn't look right. And my first thought was, "Holy shit, that's cancer."
Hmm.
What do we? And then I showed my wife and my grandmother where I were, and my grandma's like, "No, no, that's just tonsillitis. Just go see a doctor when you get back and you'll be okay." I don't know what she really believed. I've actually never really even asked her, but um, fast forward a little bit, my wife's pregnant. I go and get surgery, and it's actually in my tonsils. There was a lump that was in my tonsils. So at about a week, my wife was at 39 weeks. Had the surgery, removed my tonsils, sent it into pathology, and excruciating pain that I had. But my wife ends up going into labor on September 23rd. My daughter is born September 24th, and beautiful baby girl Isabella. And the next morning, I have a doctor's appointment to go get some more pain meds just because my throat hurts so much. And that's my ENT, Dr. Ling. Never forget this moment. he basically said it's cancer, and I've already talked to an oncologist for you, set you up an appointment, and you're going to go see her next week. So pretty intense time to be diagnosed with cancer the day after your first child is born. Um, and you could argue it's maybe the worst time to happen. But I had a little cheerleader, in my hands on a regular basis, and my daughter brought us such joy and happiness. And that kind of carried us through everything. So it was, I mean, I could talk for a couple days on my whole experience because had its trials and tribulations. But I ended up getting going through chemo. I had follicular non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So I had to go through CHOP R radiation, no radiation, just chemotherapy. I had 8 lumbar punctures. Basically epidurals. So I got received some chemotherapy that way, and then I had 2 years of maintenance rituximab treatment afterwards. So all in all, maybe about 3 years of treatments. The first 9 months being the hard part. But yeah, so no, after that, I kind of went back to work and figure stuff out. And then, change jobs and really start to learn a lot about the community with the publication that I own, Snap to Windsor. Got to meet a lot of really great people, got to go to a lot of great events and really understand our community a lot better. And one of the things well, two things that I kind of learned. One is that we have a lot of really great people, but not a lot of them that were working together. And then also, there wasn't really anything supporting cancer research. So this kind of came about with, an opportunity to help people work together and support cancer research. That's why we call the organization the Cancer Research Collaboration Fund, and Play for a Cure program is an avenue to raise money to support that and basically support local cancer research.
Because I remember a long time ago when I first interviewed you years ago when I was with Cogeco that your specific kind of cancer was they found the cure for it through some research, and you were trying to maybe like kind of help be the next kind of way to do that. Like you were trying to funnel money towards the idea that like if you funnel it towards research that the cures that can happen
Yeah,
your strain of cancer, like everything is super specific, so certain cancers weren't getting the amount of grant dollars that other
yeah.
ones did, and you wanted to help those rarer forms of cancer, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, right? Like, I think maybe what I'm recalling from our conversation was, my wife's mom passed away of the same cancer that I was diagnosed with, and
Okay.
treatment had come so far that, my prognosis was very high. They're going to go through a lot to get me on the other side, but the prognosis was very high. They say take you to the brink of death to save you, basically, right?
Hmm.
And so it really put the perspective in there that, you have to support the research to make change. There was Dr. Dufresne who started Seeds for Hope here, a cancer research organization to support cancer research. Research is just a word without hope, right? So, or hope is just a word without research. So,
Hmm.
you really want to build hope in your patients and your community, then you need to be putting the dollars and effort behind finding cures so that people believe that there's an opportunity for them to survive.
I see. Perfect. And
Yeah.
so the idea for the play for a cure came up. Like who was maybe like the first call that you made that really got this ball in motion
So
to get this going?
I could tell some fun stories actually. I got an opportunity to go to Mario Lemieux's fantasy hockey camp.
Hmm.
And there, not only did I meet some incredible people and Mr. Lemieux, and play some hockey with him and some other great players. One of the days you have an opportunity to go visit his research hospital and the lab and the people that work with all the money that he raises in Pittsburgh. And it was truly inspiring what they were working on and what he was raising money for. Mario is also a cancer survivor with Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Hmm.
And, he has found a way to leverage who he is, his organization, well, with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and raise an incredible amount of money and create some really amazing programs. So that started the idea for me to bring a similar event here to Windsor and do, treat Joes like pros, which is what we did in Pittsburgh. I kind of talked to my friend Harvey and Elaine Snaden with my wife and said, I have an idea to do a pro-am type event. And we can raise money for cancer research and around hockey. And the great idea, I know Ken Parent, who was Adam Graves' billet family. And I know maybe we can get Adam involved. And so then I got an opportunity to meet Adam with Kenny. And Adam said, "Yeah, I'll meet with Jeff." And so I got like 5 minutes with him at Atlas Tube Center, and Adam basically heard my idea, and it's nothing too new or anything like that, but basically looked at Kenny and said, "Hey, Kenny, like this is something you believe in and you think is good for our community." And because Kenny's a cancer survivor and prostate cancer, and Kenny's like, "Yeah, I think this is a great idea." And Adam said, "Well, Kenny wants me to do it. I'm in." And from there, it was just like, oh my God, we got Adam Graves to be part of this. Like such a well-respected hockey player, human being in all of the hockey world. And from there, it was just kind of like, okay, let's go reach out to this person and this person. And as soon as you tell them, we got Adam Graves involved. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm interested. What do you got going on? And just made conversation so much easier, And then Tim Taylor, he was played for Tampa among other teams. His daughter had cancer, went through some treatment with some friends in Windsor,
Hmm.
and got to meet him. And he's like, "I'm 100% in, and I'll do whatever you want." And he is also a very awesome guy, very well connected through Tampa and St. Louis and other organizations. And then we got to meet Marty McSorley, and Marty McSorley was a huge asset in reaching out to players and whatnot. So that's one thing about the hockey community is they support one another and they're not afraid to get behind a good cause. And when there's good people around, it'll attract other good people. So Adam was one of the bigger um, pieces to really getting this going. So it's yeah, as soon as he said yes, it was like, okay, here we go. Let's go.
Yeah, that got the ball rolling for sure. And
Oh yeah.
throughout my years of covering sports, and anytime I'm at the Windsor Spitfires, like you'll see like random pros all around all the time, and like just like
Yeah.
looking at stuff, and they'll see his jersey up or a picture of him up in the second certain section, and almost every single one of them say like Adam Graves is like the nicest guy in
Yeah.
hockey, like and it's like universally respected that he's just
It,
one of
it
the nicest people that's
It's
ever
not an
played.
exaggeration.
Yeah.
If I can tell you one story, so our first event we had, and our team raised the most money, so we drafted Adam to our team. I was so excited, and so we did the draft party the next morning. We get to the change room, and we're getting ready for the game, and Adam sits beside me. He's like, "Jeff, tell me how you know everyone here." I'm like, okay, like so, like friend, this, that, the other thing. And one of the guys on the team is Brad Spencer, whose son Mason passed away from cancer, going back maybe 10 years ago now, Mason. And so I kind of gave a perspective on all of my friends and people that were in the room, and Adam just kind of listened to the whole thing. We went and played the game, came back in, and hey, and he came in the room and he's like, "Okay, everyone, grab a seat." And we're all fully dressed still, and he went and closed the door and I still get teary with this. He's like, guys, that was a great game, had a lot of fun, but we're here for a bigger reason. I want to thank Jeff for putting this on, and for all of you who are stepping up and raising money for this great cause. And that was a really good game. I went and I got the game puck, and I'm gonna give it to Brad in honor of his son who passed away from cancer, and like that was part of his plan, and it was just like. I swear, like there wasn't a dry eye in the room. And he really kind of brought everything right back to why we were doing what we're doing. It's not about the hockey. It's, about raising money for a great cause. And he took that moment to really like put it all in perspective for everyone in the room. And it was powerful. It was really powerful.
And I've heard a couple of stories like that where he just understands like the right thing to say. Ever since I first started helping cover uh, the game with Kojiko, we'd always try and get Adam at least once or twice, right,
Yeah.
over the years. And as soon as you get him in your sphere, he is so willing to help, like in almost anything. Like, in I'm not as experienced as I am now as I was then, and so like just like you set him, you tee him up for some good questions, and he rolls with it, and he's a great ambassador, and like everyone, no one has ever said a bad thing about Adam Graves, but there's a number of good pros that you've had in this program over the years, and
Yep.
this year is no different. Tell us a little bit about some of the pros that we're gonna see on April 24th at the Vollmer for the All-Star game, and of course throughout the tournament during the day as well.
Yeah. So basically, how this works is like everyone gets drafted to a team. So we have eight kind of draftable for the men's team, and then two draftable for the women's teams, and then a couple local guys that participate. Really excited that we have Angela James back this year, Hockey Hall of Fame, one of the greatest female hockey players all time, a legend in her own right. A lot of people call her Wick before Wick. She was that prolific of a player before the Olympics existed. So I don't think she ever competed in the Olympics, but she got a ton of world championships and scoring titles and whatnot. Jillian Apps is coming, three-time Olympic gold medalist. Tyler McGregor is going to come. He'll be at the game, captain of the men's sledge hockey team. For the men pros for this year, we have Dave Anderchuk coming. I'm really
Nice.
excited to meet Uncle Dave, as they call him in Toronto. But Stanley Cup with Tampa, what a nice man. Was able to speak to him a couple of times, VP Tampa Bay Lightning. He should be a lot of fun. We have Terry Ryan coming.
Sweet.
Hitch from Shorzy. If you haven't seen the video that I posted of him saying that he's coming to Windsor, it's pretty exciting. Spitting his tooth out and talking about all the guys he gets to play with. He's going to be a ton of fun. Andre Waugh, another beauty of a human. He's got a ton of great stories. He's so outgoing, a lot of fun to be around. Of course, Adam Graves, Tim Taylor, Chris Thorburn, Ally Frady. Jordan Nolan's going to be here,
Yep.
also from Shores. He's a great guy. His dad's going to come this year, Ted Nolan. Be able to hear him talk a little bit at the draft party. He's going to be behind one of the benches during the All-Star game. Him and Wellwood behind the other one.
Perfect.
Yeah, so all those guys, ton of fun. We have Andy Delmore coming. Mike Layton might be able to be there. I think Zach Cassian's going to come play. Howie's going to be there. Max, the owner of Howie's Hockey, he's going to be playing the All-Star game this year. And then
Perfect.
we have Jacob and Ollie from On the Bench. Two really fun characters. Have a really strong social media. They're a ton of fun. They're going to be playing in the All-Star game as well. It should be pretty awesome. The thing is like there's always lots of people that you think you want to get or have, but the group that we have are outgoing. They're there for the right reason. They're engaging. They want to sign autograph. They want to take a picture. They understand the cause. They want to be part of it. So we have a really, really good group of pros that come to this event. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Kerry Fraser,
Yes.
legendary NHL ref. He is bigger than life.
He's a
He's a
great guy.
so many stories, and he's got a story for everyone. And what a great memory he has. And again, he's super engaging and wants to be part of everything. He During the day of hockey, he basically runs around and referees every game. Like he'll go out for a period, and then he jumps over to the other side, and then jumps back over, and he doesn't stop the whole time. He's a ton of fun.
He's another one of those great guys that like not a lot of people just have so much respect for. Like after meeting him at last year's Play for a Cure, we linked up and he we interviewed him for the podcast, and he was a great hour of
Yeah.
just nonstop stories and just a really insightful human being. We talked about his charity initiatives and everything like
Yeah.
that, and he spoke about how he tries to go to every single event that he's invited to, but after he was involved with Play for a Cure, he's like, I'll always go back. Like
Yeah.
you guys could, and that's just it just goes to the level of of excellence that you strive to have that event for. All the pros are very complimentary of the entire process. Like you guys go all out. The draft party's at Caesars on the Thursday night. You guys
Yep.
go play all day on Friday, and it's almost like a whole weekend long, like a
Yeah.
little festival that it's turned into. How proud are you of how big it's turned out, and that it's like every year it's turned into an event in Lasalle each year now?
It's I'm super proud of it. Like beyond proud of it. Like how much money we've raised in the cause and the whole bunch of the projects that we funded. We keep it tight. I don't want it to get any bigger. I think I said this at the beginning of last year's draft party. This is like a reunion. Like so many players that want to come back. I mean, unfortunately, there's a bit of a waiting list for teams and players, but there's no more room at the Vollmer and things like that. And the Vollmer really steps up and helps us. So I'm not going to move it from there, but it's a really good group of players, men and women, and volunteers that really enjoy it every year. And I worry a little bit, like if what's the shelf life on this, but you know like it's once a year, and the pros that come there, again, they're super engaging. We're there for the right cause, and we're supporting some really incredible projects, and so people want to stay a part of it. You just create a good experience and people want to be around that. So it's a bit of a reunion, and I really love that feel about it.
hmm Not to take away from Play for a Cure, this event proper, but you guys just recently were part of the Battle of the Badges event at the WFCU. Talk to us about how how it started as the Play for a Cure, and now it's kind of branching off into different avenues now with the Battle of the Badges.
Yeah, well, so that idea was brought to me by Pat Lomo, who I think you had on.
Yep.
Actually, funny, today was actually the day that the police brought their dirty vehicles to Fire Station 1 to clean them all. So I was there this morning, and Chief Waffle, he was the guy doing the most of the work. He had the hose out, and they all had the brushes, and they cleaned all their vehicles. And then the fire guy is such good host. They made soup, 10 a.m. soup. We went up had soup with both chiefs there. It was a really, really nice little gathering today. Both chiefs were very appreciative of officers on both sides, and specifically commented on the amount of camaraderie that they are feeling between the two departments. And they kind of alluded to they're in a really good spot, working together, conversations. They were very happy. So that like warms my heart, even beyond what we're doing, right? To build momentum for years moving forward. But um, Pat Lomo came to me and said, I want to run a police versus fire game, how they do it in New York City. I'm like, well, that's a great idea, but we can't do a New York City one. Like that's just a big Donnybrook and fights galore. Like I think we can do a competitive game, and there's going to be some heightened aggression and whatnot, but let's just have a fun competitive game and build around that idea. And the idea was to maybe get 1,000 people and in the barn and see if we could raise. My goal was really to hit the $70,000, and I didn't know if that would happen or not because first time event and like that. But you know, the momentum just kept gaining and gaining, and sponsors coming on board. Fortunately, we hit 70,000. Much beyond that, we got to over 100. And the reason I wanted to get to 70 was because the Cancer Research Society said that they would match upwards of maximum $70,000 to start a new cancer research grant here in Windsor. And so we wanted to hit that mark. And again, we did. And not only that, we had 4,100 people at the game. Like you guys were there, obviously, watching, broadcasting.
It was a great
Phenomenal.
time.
It was a great time on so many levels. Like there's all the little details. The little the little boy battling cancer that, dropped the puck. The guys rappelling from the ceiling to bring the pucks down. The honor guards, the gentleman that sang the anthem, Borelli. I didn't even know that this was happening, but his grandmother was in the stands, and he didn't tell his grandma that he was singing the anthem. So, and they have video of her like seeing her grandson come onto the ice and sing the anthem, and she's super surprised. Like that was pretty cool. Then the game itself was intense, but overall good. Obviously the police won. They got their vehicles cleaned today, but we raised a lot of money, and the compliments were off the charts. Everyone pretty excited and happy with the game and how everything played out. I was fortunate to be in the change rooms after with the Chiefs talking to their team and saying how proud they were. This event, Battle of the Badges, accomplished quite a few different things. Obviously, raising some good money, but it seems to be bringing the community together in multiple ways. We have two very, very important pillars of our community, playing a hockey game, but it's doing so much more for the community to see them work together, to play together, to compete together, to raise money together, to support their community together. Like that's huge in my heart. That's huge having these organizations work together to do that. So it was awesome. I can't wait to next year. And it's already booked February 4th. It's World Cancer Day by choice. I think it's on a Friday next year. Mark your calendars, and you might want to get your tickets early for next year because I have a feeling we're going to fill that barn.
I agree as well, and of course we've already committed to doing it as well. If you still need us, it was a great fantastic event, and we were happy that we could capture it and put it on YouTube and for the world to see because it
Yeah,
was
it
a
was
lot of
awesome.
fun. But for this event this year, of course, where there's still a little bit of time before the event starts on next weekend on the
Yep,
24th. So people can still donate to this as we
of
speak,
course.
right? Right until
Yeah.
the tournament starts.
Yes, playforcure.ca. And there's a donate now button, or you can scroll down and you can, pick a name if you want to donate to somebody's campaign. My name's there. You can click on my name and you can make a donation. Yeah, and also you can just come out and support the event. You can buy tickets to the All-Star game, which is next Friday, 6:30 puck drop. Doors open at 5:30. Come watch all these guys play, and maybe they'll be available for autographs, pictures. Yeah, they will be available. Jacob and Ollie will be there. Hope maybe Carson Woodall. I think the Spits won last night, so they cleaned up that series. They're on to Kitchener. So Carson hopefully can't make it because that means that the Spitfires are doing awesome. Because we do have the Woody Hoodie shootout, which is at half kind of in between periods of the All-Star game. And actually, I talked to Max Donoso a couple of days ago, and he's going to be the goalie,
Perfect.
ex-Spit and current Lancer goalie, phenomenal goalie. He's been part of this event before,
Yeah,
so
all Canadian at the University of Windsor.
incredible, right?
Hmm.
So we're going to have some local kids that are going to shoot with Ollie and Jacob, maybe Carson. A bunch of the pros be out there. Anyone that wants to participate, maybe shoot me an email, jeff@playforacure.ca. Get some kids in there. If you have a local, minor hockey kid that wants to participate, boy, girl, I don't care. Could be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the All-Star game. It's a ton of fun. There'll be some antics out there. The one year Andre Waugh, he decided he didn't want his jersey, so he put on Megan Bozek's, and it's about four sizes too small. And then he put a wig on and came out there and was throwing his body around against the boards and came out with a little mini stick. It was just a bunch of fun.
It's fantastic. It's family friendly and it's for a
Yeah.
good cause. So of course, that's the Play for a Cure event at the Vollmer Centre on April 24th. The All-Star game starts at 6:30. You can donate to anyone's cause or their campaigns as well at
Yep.
playforacure.ca. Jeff, is there anything that we missed or anything you'd like to add about what this tournament's going to bring this year?
It's just to stress a couple things that I think our community really believes in and giving back to the community, but every dollar raised stays local and goes directly to the charity. This event is run 100% by volunteers, and all money raised from any ticket purchased, any piece of merchandise purchased, or any donation goes directly to the cause. And if you want to visit our website, playforcure.ca, you can look up at the very top and you can see a bunch of the different projects that we funded. All of them, of course, local, some of them big, some new big things coming down the pipe that takes some time to get rolling, but some really, really good things happening in our community. There's a ton of momentum around supporting cancer research, and I'll say the future is very bright. There's some really amazing things coming that will be announced very soon that I'm really excited for.
And we are very excited as well to be a part of that process. Jeff, thank you so much for being on the show, and best of luck with battle. Or sorry, not battle. Well, best of luck with
Oh yeah,
Battle of the
well, yeah,
Badges next
absolutely. Why
year.
not?
But
Yeah.
best of luck with the Play for a Cure event. Hatcher Cocky will be there as well, supporting in the best way that we can,
Well,
using our
oh,
yappers. So,
hey, well, that's a good point. Like, why don't you talk about what your role is going to be on
well,
the
yeah, well, yeah, we've got a couple minutes
you
here.
missed
So
that.
Yeah, so we are so Jeff, we talked about this since after Battle of the Badges. We are going to do some interviews. We're going to do a live podcast at Battle of the Badges. Sorry, at Play for Gear on Vollmer on the 24th there. So we're thinking that maybe Jeff we'll do like a 3 hour, like set aside 3 hours, maybe 11 to 2, and we'll just go live, and whoever we can get to pop in for a few minutes to chat about their experience with the day, and want to swap stories or do whatever. Who knows?
Perfect.
We could have a whole different smorgasbord of people. We'll have some rotating microphones. We'll have at least four, up to six microphones. So we just bought a new mixer for
Ooh,
everything. So we'll see what our possibilities are. We'll have to do a site check before
sounds
that.
awesome.
All right.
Yep.
All right, we're very excited to be there. Thank you, Jeff, for being part of the show, and thank you very much for watching Hat Trick Hockey from Jeff and myself. So long, and we'll see you next time on the Hat Trick Hockey Podcast. Good night.
I've lost my fight.